Hi, welcome to Getting Started, Essential Gear for the New Photographer. I am thrilled to have you here. Today, we're embarking on an exciting journey. Whether you're transitioning from a hobbyist to a professional or just starting out with a serious interest in photography, this course is your stepping stone. Before we get started, we are going to assume that you already have a computer of some kind. We're not making computer recommendations, but that is an essential piece of gear, and we will not really be discussing that in depth. So let's dive right into our first topic, choosing the right camera. So in the world of professional photography, your camera is more than just a tool, right? It's your partner in creativity. There are two main types of cameras, and we're going to discuss them today. We're not really focused today on mirrorless versus DSLR. The industry is really shifting toward mirrorless, so all of our recommendations are going to be to start with a mirrorless system, so as those evolve, you don't have to reinvest in new equipment. But we will be discussing full frame and crop sensor cameras. Understanding the difference between these two is key to making a choice that suits your needs and your budget. Full frame cameras have a larger sensor size. Both of these are actually full frame cameras. This means that they capture more light and provide a wider field of view. This is fantastic for achieving high image quality, especially in low light conditions. If you have the resources, I do recommend investing in full frame because it can be a wise long-term decision. It offers the most versatility and a broader range of capabilities. On the other hand, crop sensor cameras have a smaller sensor. So imagine a full frame sensor, which is about the size of a digital negative. A crop sensor is going to have only a small portion of that. So this affects the field of view, essentially cropping the image. While you can use a full frame lens, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, you're only going to be using the center section of that lens. It essentially crops the image. While they may not perform as well as full frame cameras in low light, they are more compact, they're often less expensive, and they are a great choice for starting with a tighter budget. Now, before you decide, I do want you to think about what you'll be shooting. Are you interested in landscape, portrait, street photography, or something else? Your photography style may influence the type of camera that is best for you. Remember, the best camera is the one that aligns with your photographic goals and feels right in your hands. So budget is also a crucial factor. A full frame camera is a significant investment, but it can save you money in the long run because you won't need to upgrade as soon. However, if funds are limited, a crop sensor is a fantastic starting point, and it's not going to hold you back from starting your career. It's about balancing your current budget with your future photography aspirations. To recap, the choice between a full frame and crop sensor depends on your style, your needs, and your budget. Both have advantages and can be excellent tools in your photography journey. In the next section, we're going to dive into selecting your first lens, an equally important decision for your photography. So I do think it's important to add that this is not sponsored by Nikon in any way, but that is the brand that I've used throughout my entire professional career, and I have found the quality to be absolutely beautiful. So we do currently shoot all of our work on Nikon Z9 cameras. That is the top of the line mirrorless system. But that doesn't mean that you need to go buy a Z9 because you might not have the need for all of the capabilities. I do recommend getting a mirrorless body that also has video capability built in because you're really going to get the most bang for your buck. And then when choosing your camera body, really it's about getting as many megapixels as you can for your budget while also setting aside some of that budget for glass, for buying your lens. Now, if that means you're going to get a crop sensor or you're going to get a full frame, that decision is ultimately for you. We have used the Z6, the Z7. You could even shoot on a Z50, which is a crop sensor mirrorless body, and you can get beautiful professional quality work. It's really just boils down to your budget and getting the most bang for your buck. I would not recommend, however, going back and buying a DSLR. While you may find them very cheap, you will find a need to upgrade some point in the relatively near future, and because they are older systems that are not really being invested in, you're not going to be able to resell them as much as you would the mirrorless bodies. So go ahead and get as much as you can for the dollar that you have in a mirrorless system.